Hello everyone, how are you? I hope all of you are doing really good. So welcome to another session of strategic management, and let's continue with our discussion on strategic analysis of the external environment. So far what we have discussed is that analysis of the external environment is very important to formulate the strategies for the effective decision making and to identify the various opportunities present in the environment, as well as to identify the various threats which are available in the environment, which are there in the environment, and to analyze them timely and take the corrective action at the right time. Right, so all this is the analysis of the environment is very important. Then we discussed about micro environment, macro environment, what are the elements are there, and the Pasley analysis. Right, okay, now in this environment, one thing that is really important for you to analyze is your product, right? Because your product is the king, that is what you are going to sell. So you have to analyze that in the environment, the various factors related to the product, related to the industry in which you are operating. Now we will talk about the product first. What is there in the product? Why we need the analysis of the product? Because we want to see whether there is a market for the product that we are planning to manufacture and sell, whether it will have the sufficient demand, and whether it is going to be a long range product, right? So if there is a possibility that today there is a little bit of a demand and we start with the manufacturing, and after 10 days there is no demand for the product, so what is the fun of establishing everything and manufacturing the product just for selling it for 10 days? You won't be able to recover the cost even in the 10 days, right? So product is what? It is the center of everything. Your whole strategy is going to revolve around the product that you want to manufacture and sell. All the decision making is going to revolve around that product. So he is the king. When the product is the king, you have to focus on the king, right? You have to focus on the product, that what are the various features that I will be adding to the product, what is the price to be charged for the product, whether customer will buy my product or not, how my product is going to help the customer, right? If I am manufacturing a product, then what is the intention? One of the intention of manufacturing the product is that the product is going to help the customers. It is going to add some value to the life of that customer, right, who is going to buy the product. So whether the product is going to serve all those purposes or not, what is the price to be charged for that product, so that we are able to earn the profits, right? So all these things we have to see. And that is why this analysis of the product, or understanding your product, is very important in respect to the environment in which you are planning to sell, in which you are operating your business, at the same time the environment in which you are planning to sell your product, right? So everything is important to understand. Let's see here. So a product, when we talk about product, it is not necessary to be a physical product. It can be a service also, right? So product can either be a good or service. It might be a physical good or a service, an experience, right? So let's see what are the various characteristics which are related to the product, which are to be considered, or which are the normal things which are there in the product, right? The products are either tangible or intangible, right? So products are something which can be touched. Tangible is what? The tangible product means which can be handled, seen and physically felt, such as car, book, pen, table, mobile, handset and so on. So whether you are going to deal in those tangible products, or intangible product is not a physical good, right? Such as the telecom services, banking, insurance, repair services. So basically any kind of service sector, any kind of services, that is what? That is an intangible product that you are providing. So services is again a product. Product is anything that you are going to sell, for which you are going to get the money, right? That is a product. Whether it is a good, whether it is a service, you are going to sell your services, you are going to give your services, and you are going to get money for that. That is a product for you, right? Second is the product has a price. Now every product has a price, isn't it? Or the products are going to be available absolutely free of cost? No sir, no product is available free of cost in the today's time. No service is available free of cost in the today's time, right? And ideally it should not be. Ideally it should not be, sir. If everyone is going to provide everything free of cost, then how will the people earn and eat? Isn't it? Everyone is earning for their living, isn't it? Yes sir. The business determines the cost of their product and charge a price for it. Definitely, sir. The dynamics of supply and demand influence the market price of an item or the service. Now, the market price, that what the price the market is ready to pay for a product, it is dependent upon the supply and demand, right? If the supply is more than demand, then what will happen, sir? Demand is less, supply is more, or reverse can be there. If the demand is more, supply is less, then the prices will be higher. If the supply is more, demand is less, the prices will be on the lower side. So the market price is determined by the supply and demand. The market price is the price at which the quantity provided equals the quantity desired. This is actually, if you talk it in the economic terms, it is known as the equilibrium price. It is the price at which the demand is exactly equal to supply, and in the actual scenarios, it never happens. He says the market price is the price at which the quantity provided equals the quantity demanded. Now, I go to the market, I am asking for 10 packets of, let's say, pen, right? This pen, I am asking for 10 packets of pen, and he is having 10 packets of pen, and he will say, sir, 10 rupees for each pen, that's it. That is the price where the demand is what the supply is, right? Ideally, if in the economic terms we talk it, it is the equilibrium price. That's what we call it as, right? The price that may be paid is determined by the market, the quality, the marketing, and the targeted group, right? What is the price that you can actually, the price of the product that you can actually fetch from the market? It depends upon the various factors, right? What are those factors on which it is dependent? It is dependent upon the market, right? How the market is going to behave. It is dependent upon the quality of the product, that if your product is having a good quality, the people are ready to pay the price for that, right? The marketing, how you are going to go about with the marketing thing, right? Next is the targeted group. Which is the targeted group? If you are targeting the high income group, then obviously they are ready to pay the higher price for the product. And if you are targeting the low income group, how will they pay for the high priced product? So in the present competitive world, the price is often given by the market, and the business have to work on the cost to maintain the profitability. He says in the today's competitive world, now the business cannot decide what the price is to be charged. The market will decide what they are ready to pay for the product. The business cannot decide what they can charge for the product. In fact, the market is the one which is the dominant factor here, and the market is going to decide what is the price they are ready to pay, right? So business, in if they want the profitability around that market price, around the price which the market is ready to pay, they need to work out on the cost. They need to reduce their cost. Clear? Next is the products have the certain features. The products have the certain features that deliver the satisfaction. Now, if you go to the market and buy rice, right? Why are you going to the market and buy rice? Because when you will eat that rice, that will satisfy you, isn't it? You want to satisfy your hunger. That is why you are buying food. You are buying rice, right? So if you are going to buy a product or a service, there is a satisfaction that is required behind that purpose. Clear? So satisfaction depends upon the various factors, that how you are going to use the product, what is the price of the product. There are a lot of things on which the satisfaction level is determined, right? So a product feature is a component of a product that satisfies a customer need. So if you are using a mobile phone, right? So there is certain need, or there is certain thing that is satisfied by using that particular kind of a mobile phone, and that depends upon what? That depends upon the features of the mobile phone, and most importantly, the business who want to survive in the market, they need to keep on upgrading the features, isn't it? The features determine the product pricing. More the features, more the pricing, and the best example for this is the mobile phones, right? More the features, more the pricing, less the features, less the pricing. Nothing can be a better example than this. And the business alter the features during the development process to optimize the user experience. For example, in the mobile industry itself, if we say they keep on upgrading the things, they keep on upgrading the softwares so that people have a better feel of it, right? And they keep on upgrading the cameras, the systems. So a lot of things are there. They keep on improving and developing, right? The products should be able to provide value satisfaction to the customer for whom they are meant, right? They should be adding the value to the life of the customer. For example, if we can take you must have seen a lot of YouTube influencers, right? They are buying the phone. Why they are buying a phone? Because that is going to add certain value. They will be shooting the videos from those mobile phones, right? That is why they are buying a product. So the product which you are buying should be adding a value to your life, isn't it? That is why you are buying it. Otherwise, if that product is not going to add value anyhow to you, that means you are just wasting money. You have lots of money and you are just interested in wasting the money. That's it, isn't it? So the features of the product will distinguish it. The features will distinguish it in terms of the function, design, quality, and experience. Right? So obviously, what are the features of the mobile phone? The different features differentiate the mobile phone in terms of functioning, in terms of design, in terms of quality, in terms of user experience, right? So it all depends upon the features that are there. So Apple will be providing separate features, Samsung is providing separate features, iOS feel is different, Android feel is absolutely different. What is the design? What is the build quality? Everything is included in what? It is the features that you are providing, right? And most of the times when we are going to buy a phone, if you just talk about the middle class, upper middle class, lower middle class, whenever we go to buy a phone, right, what we see the features which are going to be useful to us, right? We will go for that phone. We are not interested in buying 1,50,000 or 2 lakh rupees worth of iPhone because we just want to show off. No. We are looking for that device, we are looking for that phone that is going to serve our purpose, right? If we want to take the classes on that, we are going to look for that device that is going to serve our purpose, right? So a customer's cumulative experience with the product from its purchase to the end of its useful life is an important component of the product feature that right from the time the customer has purchased the product till the end of the life, is he happy with the product? And if the customer is happy with the product, that customer is definitely going to buy that product again, right? After that, product is pivotal for the business. Pivotal means important. It is the central point of attraction for any business, right? So obviously, sir, without a product, you are having the machinery, you are having the manpower, you are having everything, but you don't know what to make. You don't have a product to manufacture, you don't have a product to provide, you don't have a service to provide. Are you carrying out a business? No, right? So product is the center of business. Product is what? It is the center of business around which all the activities are going to work. All the strategic activities revolve, right? The product enables production, quality, sales, marketing, logistics, and other business processes. So everything revolves around what? The product. Because you are going to make a product, because there is a product, because of that, there is everything that is going to take place, right? Without a product, will you go for production? No, sir. What do you want to produce? You don't have a product, right? So product is the driving force behind the business activity. So that is what that runs a business basically. That is why it is known as the product is the most important thing for the business. The product is pivotal for the business, right? Now the next point is very, very important. The next point says the product has a useful life. Every product has a certain life, and after the expiry of that useful life, the product will no longer be useful for you, right? For example, mobile phone, you can use one mobile phone for 6-7 years, max to max 10 years. After that, the softwares will get outdated. Many of the apps will stop working, right? So all these things happen, sir. So every product is going to have a life, right? After at the end of the useful life, the product might be in the working condition, but still you will have to scrap it. Why? Because the product will not lead to the the customer satisfaction now, right? It is not going to add value to your life now. It is in fact going to decrease the value from your life. So ultimately you will have to change your product, right? So every product has a useful life after which it must be replaced, as well as the life cycle. We are just going to study about the product life cycle, after which it is to be reinvented or may cease to exist. That after a particular time period, the people will stop buying the product. If you are not going for the innovative inventions, if you are not going to modify your product, then people will stop buying after a certain stage and your product will cease to exist. Obviously, you will go out of the market, right? If you do not come up with something new, if you do not come up with some new innovations are not there in the product, then ultimately one day you will be out of the market because there will be no acceptance for the product. We have observed that this is a great example. We have observed that the fixed line telephone instruments have largely been replaced by the mobile phones. So at one point of time, we used to have the fixed landlines and today we have the mobile phones. But if you talk in the reality, that world was wonderful. That world was wonderful when you do not used to have the mobile phones. That was the best era. I don't know how many of you have seen that era. Yes, we have seen that era, but that was a brilliant era when we used to spend time with the friends, we used to spend time with the family, we used to concentrate on the studies, we do not have any distractions, right? It was only just the TV was one distraction, but that was okay. That was just for we could watch it for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, but that much entertainment is actually required. But with the mobile phone invention, it has been a drastic change, I would say. Anyhow, things apart, we can't change that, we can't roll back to that time, but what we were talking about is that every product is having a particular lifespan. So this is about the product that you need to remember. The products are either tangible or intangible. The product has a price. The products have certain features that deliver the satisfaction to the customer. If the product is not able to deliver any kind of a satisfaction to the customer, then throw that product. That product is useless, right? You do not need that product, and the company should not be manufacturing that product either, right? The product is pivotal for the business and the product has a useful life, right? If someone of you is following the Shark Tank, right, you must have seen there are many people who are coming up with the useless products, right? The products are such that they are not going to be used by anyone. They are not going to provide any satisfaction. Just those people are making the products like the dream is there. You want to make this product, okay, we'll make that product, right? I'm not going to name any products, but there are, right? That is the reality. I've been following that closely. So that is there. That's fine, sir. The things are there. Now we say that every product has to go through a life cycle, right? What is this product life cycle? If you want to understand it in the simple terms, what will happen, sir? Whenever you are hungry, you go through a particular cycle. The first stage, you go through a various stages. Let's say you are feeling very hungry and you order the Domino's pizza. What will happen, sir? For the first piece, you will be like, I want everything. I'm going to have this whole large pizza on the first piece because the hunger is at the highest level, right? And you want to have it everything. The second stage, as you consume the first piece, second piece also you consume till the time you reach the third piece. Now you are now a little bit satisfied. You say, okay, now I might not be able to have the whole of this large pizza, isn't it? After consuming 2 more pieces, that was a stabilization stage, and after that, what happens? After consuming 4 pieces, you are like, now I am full. I can't have the rest of the pizza, isn't it? What was the initial stage? The initial stage was like, I'm going to give up everything. I'm going to have the whole of pizza. I'm not going to give it to everything. And after 2 pieces, you feel like, okay, something is there. My hunger is getting satisfied. Then after another piece, you are like, now I'm almost done. After having another piece, you are like, I'm done now. I can't have more of it, right? So similarly, every product has a life cycle. Every product has to go through a particular stages of the development, right? An important concept in the strategic choice. What is a strategic choice? Strategic choice means, we have a chapter on it, chapter number 4. But in short, if you ask me, strategic choice is basically which strategy is required at what particular point of time, right? Which strategy is we need to choose. So important concept in the strategic choice is that of the product life cycle. It is useful concept for guiding the strategic choice. Essentially, the PLC is a S-shaped curve which exhibit the relationship of the sales with respect of time for a product that passes through the 4 successive stages of introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. If the business are substituted for the product, the concept of PLC could work just as well. That this concept of product life cycle, like it works for the product, it works for the business also. There are different stages at which the business is operating. Initially they might be growing at a slower pace, then once the market is established, the business might be growing at a faster pace. Then a time will come where there is a saturation level, satisfaction level. We are neither growing nor declining, but after that there will be a point when we will be on the decline, because we are not going for any innovations and all those things. We are making the product. Now let's see what is that life cycles. What are the stages? That is important. What are the stages? Let's check it out. So the first stage here is, one second. So the first stage here is the introduction stage. What is the first stage? The first stage is the introduction stage. Introduction stage is when you are coming up with a new product. This is the introductory stage, when you are introducing the product to the market. Yes, we are coming up with this product, right? With the slow sales growth, obviously, because more and more people are not aware of it as of now, the sales will be slow. Competition is almost negligible because you might be the first one to manufacture that product. The prices are relatively high. Why the prices are relatively high? Because the competition is low. You can charge whatever you want to charge. You can charge high prices. And the markets are limited. When there are limited markets, when they are limited market means the people who are opting for are limited, right? The people who are providing are limited. That is why the competition is low. Why it is limited? Because the people are not yet aware of the things. For example, the gluten-free products, the people are not aware of that much. The competition is not so high. The sales might be on the slower side. The prices will be high. How the prices will be high? If any one of you have heard about the millets, right? The 2023 was declared by Mr. Narendra Modi as the millet year of India. And if you have seen the G20 summit that was in India in 2023, there was a particular menu of the millets, right? And it is one of the best things to have in the food. Leave wheat. That is a practical example, right? Leave wheat, you can still live. Eat millets. Very good for health, right? So the prices, if you go in the market now and check the wheat price, a normal wheat price and the millet price, there is a huge difference. There is a huge difference between. Why? Because competition is low, sales are slow, less people are aware about it. The market is, of the smaller size, so the prices are relatively high. The growth in the sales, is at a lower rate because of lack of awareness on the part of customers. That is what I told you. More and more people are not aware, maximum people are not aware about the benefits of the product as of now, because it is just in the introduction stage. Now, after a certain point of time, there will be a stage of, that is what we call it as the growth stage, right? The second phase is the growth stage. The growth stage with the rapid market acceptance. Now, as more and more people get aware about the product, the market will rapidly grow. I got to know about a particular product, I will share with 10 other people, right? And if they get benefit from that product, they will share with another 10 people. So this is how the market is going to grow, right? In the growth stage, the demand expands rapidly, prices fall because there is a huge demand now, the competition increases and the market expands. Right? The customer has the knowledge about the product and shows the interest in purchasing it. Now, more and more people are getting aware of that particular product. So what is the third phase now? The third phase is the maturity stage. Maturity stage is now the saturation level. Once you have reached that stage where you are neither growing nor you are on the decline. Right? You are operating at one level, sir. You are operating at one level where there is a slowdown in the growth rate. Now, it is not an increasing growth rate. It is a slowdown in the growth rate. In this stage, the competition gets tough. The market gets stabilized. There are no new customers who are joining you. The old customers are coming to you. They are buying little. Right? The profit comes down because of the stiff competition. At this stage, the organizations have to work for maintaining the stability. Now, the organizations will have to put in some extra efforts if they want to maintain the stability during this particular stage, right? The next one is the fourth stage is the declining stage. Now this is where the customers will be less, competition will be too much, right? Demand for the product will be low and you might go out of the market, right? With a sharp downward drift in the sales and the profits fall sharply due to some new product replacing the existing product, right? Now this is where the innovation is. This is where you have to analyze your environment, at what stage our product is operating, when is the innovation required, when we need to come up with something different for the market, right? This is where the analysis, the environment analysis comes into play, that why you are going to decline, because some other competitor has come up with a better, the better product. Clear? So a combination of strategies can be implemented to stay in the market, either by diversification or retrenchment. Diversification is you make some other products also. Retrenchment is what? You withdraw the product from the market, do some R&D, do some innovation, come up with something new. That is also one way of, being there in the market. Right, so these are the stages. See, the introduction stage, then growth, then maturity. Maturity is you are growing at a slow pace. Here you have a pace, right? You are growing at a fast pace. Then maturity is almost stable. Then you start declining. So it is what? It is a S-shaped curve. Please remember this, for it can be asked in the MCQ. S-shaped curve. That what is the curve of the PLC? Clear? The main advantage of the PLC approach is what? The main advantage of the PLC is that it can be used to diagnose a portfolio of the products or business in order to establish the stage at which each of them exist, right? So PLC approach tells us that whatever the products we are manufacturing or whatever the business we are in, we are operating at which stage. Accordingly, we can take our decisions. Accordingly, we can prepare the various strategies, and accordingly, we can decide that whether some of the products we need to retrench from the market, right? Or whether we need to introduce the new products in the market now. We need to come up with certain innovation. So PLC helps in that, right? Particular attention is paid on the businesses that are in the declining stage. So there you need to be very careful. If your business is on the declining stage, then you need to think differently. You need to come up with the different types of products now, right? So you need something to change, something to attract the customers. Depending upon the diagnosis, the appropriate strategies can be made, right? For instance, one second, the expansion may be feasible alternative for the business in the introductory and the growth stage. So if you are in the initial stages, then expansion of the business is a good idea, because you have the market, you have your product is in the demand, then why not go for the expansion? But if your product is when you are at the maturity stage, then you are looking for what? Then you are looking for whatever the cash we are able to generate. Let's generate it and let's use this cash for investment. Let's save this cash for the declining stage, right? Mature business may be used as a source of cash for investment in other business which need the resources, or for another business which we might need to start during the declining stage, right? So during the and in the case of maturity business, you are generating the cash flows. So use this cash flows, save this cash flows for the future, right? For the declining stage, you can save it. So this is a very important topic, the PLC. Product life cycle, that every product, first thing, every product has a specific life, and during that life the product will go through a life cycle. Introductory stage, when it is in the very infant stage. Then is the growth stage, when there is a boom, when there is a market, the competition increases, but your product is also doing really good, right? Then comes the maturity stage, that is the level of saturation. You are just growing slow. You're actually not growing, you're just stabilizing yourself, right? Then comes the declining stage. Clear? This is the product life cycle. Please go through it once. The value chain analysis, another interesting topic we will take up in the next lecture now, right? Go through this, understanding the product and industry, go through this thoroughly, revise it thoroughly, remember the key points that we have highlighted, and try to write down the key points in a separate notebook. That is one of the best ways of revision, right? Not the whole points. I'm not saying write each and everything in the notebook. No, keep a separate notebook. Just write down the key areas. Just write down the key points, because in the examination, those key points should be there in your answer. Right, that is what we have been highlighting, that what are the key points, what are the things, what are the points that you need to remember. Rest is RM. You can just fit in those key points and make a paragraph, right? That's it. Make a point. That's it. Right. So this is the thing that you people have to do. See you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep studying, keep sharing. Thank you so much.